Welcome to Chamber Talk. I have a fabulous show today. I want to welcome Mr. Charlie Garbutt and Jay Charlie. I appreciate you two coming on the show today and taking time out of your busy schedules. I got a lot of questions I want to ask you today, and I want to share some personal things, maybe a little bit with folks if we can. I know a lot of folks know you guys because you've been in and around Dublin and Lawrence County. I believe you told me, Mr. Garbutt, for all of your life. So tell me a little bit about growing up here in Dublin and maybe just how you've seen Dublin and Lawrence County evolve.
Well, Dublin is small town America. It's a great place to grow up. I grew up here in the 50s and 60s, which was just a fabulous time to be young and grow up. My father owned and operated Oates Drug Company downtown, and so I've always had a love and passion for downtown, which is a lot of fun to be seeing downtown Dublin come back right now. But graduated from Dublin High School, got a degree in construction, in building construction from Auburn University, and worked in Alabama for about 3 years, and in 1976 came home to Dublin and started Garbutt Construction Company.
Okay, and then daughter came along, son came along. Who's the older?
Charlie's the oldest.
Okay.
And she pursued and got a degree in construction management from Georgia Southern, and worked outside of Garbutt Construction Company for about 2 years. And she and I had an agreement if she'd work outside of the company and see something different than how somebody else ran a construction business just besides Garbutt Construction Company, and she wanted to come in, she could come in, and that's been about, help me, 11 years ago.
Wow.
I've been with the company for 11 years, so it's flown by.
So tell me what happened. You were out playing one day, or you were just watching Dad go to work, or whatever made you decide this would be your career?
Well, when I was young, I remember my dad leaving for work very early at times. He would leave, at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. And I always just really wanted to know what he was doing. I was very intrigued, I guess you could say. And, then when I got to my college years, graduated from high school, I wasn't real sure what I wanted to pursue. And but I knew that I was, passionate about our family business. And so he and I talked, and I pursued my education in construction management and completed my education, and as he said, gained some professional experience elsewhere for a little while, and that's kind of it. I was just always very intrigued and interested in the family business, as I know many people are.
Right.
I mean, I enjoy construction, but.
So let me ask you, Jay Charlie, you're still a young person.
Thank you.
And well, and being here and being in Dublin and Lawrence County, and I'm sure, Charlie, you hear the same too as I do, but a lot of our younger generation, they feel like sometimes there's not a lot to do here, or a lot of opportunities, which I think there are plenty of things to do here, and there are plenty of opportunities. But speak to that, if you would, about coming back here, and I know you had a job and a family business to get into, but what do some of your peers say and feel about that, and what is your opinion on that?
I agree with you as well. I think, Dublin, there is as much to do in Dublin, Georgia, that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Chamber is a tremendous outlet. I have been really, pleased. Probably the past 5 or 6 years, I've seen many of my peers and contemporaries, want to move back to Dublin and want, kind of a sense of connection with a small community. And I really feel that is what Dublin offers, is, big enough to pursue opportunity, but small enough to be surrounded by people that really care about you and your success. And I think it's a great place for young people.
I think a great quality of life that we have to offer here. Mr. Garbutt, what do you see? I know you work a lot with folks even around the state in the education arena and trying to work on upcoming workforce. What would you say about our workforce and the opportunities and things that we have here in Lawrence County?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about how we attack that situation. It is a challenge to get young people, especially college-educated young people, to see the value in towns like Dublin. But what we do, we primarily focus on Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern's got a construction program, and Kennesaw Southern Polytech, they merged, and they got a construction program. Those are the only two four-year construction programs in the state of Georgia. And we seem to have a lot better success at Georgia Southern. We have a co-op program going with Georgia Southern Construction Management School. And so every semester we will have 2 or 3 students that are co-oping with us.
Okay.
So they're working a semester, and then they're going to school a semester, working a semester, going to school a semester. And once they get here and see what our community has to offer, that stigma of, hey, I want to go to Atlanta, and Atlanta's the only place to work if I'm a construction college graduate, goes away. Because we work all over the state, but Dublin's our headquarters. And,
Okay.
Anyway, I think once they
To get them here.
get indoctrinated in our business, in our community, that kind of goes away.
Yeah, they take root.
I think so too. And even not being from here, but just being here the amount of time I've been here, I tell people this is my home, this is where I want to stay. And again, the quality of life, the amenities that we have, and just still a lot of opportunities here to grow and do a lot of other things. So we're going to take a really quick commercial break, and then we'll come back in and continue our conversation. We'll be right back.
Celebrate your independence in a new Chevrolet from Dublin Chevrolet.
Get employee pricing on all remaining 2018 Silverado models with total savings of over $12,000. These 2018 Silverados won't last, so act now while they're still in stock. If a car is more your style, get over $4,500 in total savings on the 2019 Malibu LS.
Call, click, or come see us. Dublin Chevrolet, the only dealer you will ever need.
Planting time is here, and that means it's time to go to Roach Farm and Garden. We have all of your vegetable plants in stock, and we carry your favorite garden seeds. We have farm implements. If it goes behind a tractor or it's something you need on the farm, we have it. Our friendly staff will help you find any kind of animal feed or fertilizer you need. We'll even load it for you. Springtime is here, and it's time to start your next outdoor project. So make your first stop Roach Farm and Garden, Dublin.
Roach Farm and Garden, growing traditions.
Welcome back. Right before the break, we were talking a little bit about educational opportunities and how you guys pursue workforce. So tell me a little bit today about the number of people and/or maybe contractors that you guys work with on a regular basis. And a little bit maybe, and I don't know which one of you would speak to this best, but maybe scope of work, some current projects that you may be working on?
Well, most of the work we do is utilizes the construction management delivery system, and what that means is we manage the process. We still self-perform some disciplines, but not near as much as when I started in business 42 years ago. And so I call it herding the cats. We put together a team of subcontractors, and we are in charge of managing the whole construction process. Was that, you asked something?
It is, but I want to know a little more even with those contractors. Do you guys actually still build, or do you just hire people to do the building? How does that work?
We pretty well manage the process. We self-perform very little now.
Okay.
And so just about all of the sticks and bricks are done by subcontractors of ours that we put together as a team to build a project.
Okay. And then current projects, some things that you guys are working on right now.
I'll speak to some of them. One of our current clients is Georgia Military College in Milledgeville, Georgia, and I'm real impressed with their organization and kind of their development of the workforce. And then we're also working for Georgia College and State University over in Milledgeville, doing a very large restoration for their media department. So that's also interesting. And then I think one to note that's been recently completed here in Dublin was a large renovation for YKK. So that was, it's always nice to do work
Local.
here in town.
Right, right.
And, you know, there are many others, but those are kind of my current,
Where you're focused right now or just finishing with?
some of my current favorites, I guess you could say.
So tell me, you guys, and I'm guessing you don't do residential.
No.
Okay, so commercial you mentioned, industrial. Give me an idea of what you would be looking for.
Our largest client is the Georgia State Financing and Investment Commission, GSFIC. And GSFIC is responsible for all the construction that the state does, primarily. They're with few exceptions, but a lot of our work is done for Board of Regents and the Technical College System of Georgia. We just finished about a $20 million project for Southern Crescent Technical College in McDonough. We're currently working, Charlie mentioned Georgia College. We're currently working at Georgia Southern, Boston, Statesboro, and Savannah at their Armstrong campus, doing a project for Columbus State. And then we do I guess our niche is in renovation restoration work. We pride ourselves in thinking we're one of the premier historic restoration contractors in the state, and we tend to do a lot of renovation work. We do new construction as well. The project in McDonough is a new construction project, but our bread and butter is renovation and restoration.
Okay. Primarily Georgia, or do you work outside of Georgia?
We are licensed in South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, not Florida, but right now everything we do is in Georgia. We tend to stay out of Atlanta, even though we just finished a project.
So how do
Fox,
you do that?
Fox Theater.
That's right. You guys did a great
Yeah.
job with the Fox Theater there. Yeah.
But primarily anywhere in the state. We went to Atlanta for that project because that was a pretty special project. But
Right.
we like working in communities the size of Dublin and the campuses out in the state of Georgia.
Absolutely. Charlie, tell me for you a typical day at work, because I have no idea what a day at work looks like for you. So give me an idea.
Well, I've fulfilled many roles at Garbutt Construction Company. I'm taking a new role currently in risk management. So now a typical day for me looks like, really making sure that everything is managed properly for us internally as well as for our clients. Hedging the risk is not only good for us as the contractor, but also for our clients. So I'm kind of learning and going with that, and I fulfill a lot of community representation as well that I enjoy.
Do a little bit of the marketing side as well, I guess?
I do. I've done that for many years, representing, selling.
So who does actually, across the state or around the state, when there are jobs and bids and things, do you guys have a team of folks that go out and seek those things, or do folks come to you more? How does that process work?
Some of both happens, and to speak to Charlie's role in the company, she's making the rounds. She's been real proud of her. She really takes on challenges and gets very passionate about it. When she first came to work at the company, she was involved in project management. A project manager is pretty well dedicated to one or two projects. And then a few years of that, she went into business development. She has been very integral in developing our business development, our public relations, and procurement. She did a great job with that.
Many hats.
Yeah, and just recently she's worked in the internal financial part of handling contracts and administration with the project manager. She's sort of the hub of the wheel for that, and she was saying that's a new project for her, and it is, but she's taking it on. And
Sounds fun, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
she's pretty well versed in everything that goes on in the construction business.
And so what I'm hearing, I think, is one day will she maybe take the reins of the company and run Garbutt Construction, or is that not fair to ask? Or
She very well may, right? Garbutt Construction Company, other than me, and Mr. Ozzie Nelson, who's been with me for about 35 years, who just retired this week, is a young company. Sean Moxley is the president of the company, and he's 40 years old.
wow.
And he's got a stable of project managers, and we've got about a dozen CM graduates that work in the company, and they're all younger than he is. So I'm on the downhill slide, and I'll be retiring here in a year or two, and I think they're well poised to take it to the next level.
Well, and I know you guys have Kimberly that's an ambassador with us, and she
Mm-hmm.
does a great job. And we talked earlier about some of your civic involvement. You've been on the chamber board, you're a Rotarian, young professionals. I can't imagine how many other things around town, but you guys do a wonderful job of supporting Dublin and Lawrence County, and we certainly appreciate that. How many folks do you have here? I know you're on two sides of the street, right, with offices?
Well, not anymore.
You went back to, okay.
We expanded our offices on the west side of Calhoun Street, and I rent out the
Okay.
building across the
That's
street.
right. That's a rehabilitation type
It
place
is,
over
and
there.
it
now.
just doesn't work to not have everybody under one roof. You really need everybody under one roof where good collaboration goes on. And it's
About how
hard to do.
many do you have here? Just
the office?
Here in the office, yeah.
Charlie, help me. I would say we got about 15 in the office. We got
Okay.
about 40
We employ about
total
40 people.
employees.
Wow.
So,
That's,
and they're all over in the state.
well, again, we appreciate that investment and those jobs that you provide here. I want to take one more commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about how construction looks different today and maybe even what you see in the near future for construction. Thank you for being with us. We'll be right back.
Is your internet slowing your business down? If so, call the City of Dublin for our fiber optic based internet, 478-296-1008.
When it comes to shopping for lawn and garden, there's one thing that you'll want to remember.
If you can't do business here, you just can't do business.
Take it from Glenn Register, owner of Hometown Supply in downtown Dublin.
Anything they need for us to do, we do. We give warranty with everything, new and used. You can get what we call a tractor style mower that's less expensive than a zero turn is. You can spend basically half the money and do the same job. It just won't do it quite as fast. Come down and look at what we have, service it, we get parts for it. We can take it down there behind the store. We got a place down there we cut, show them everything about it. Take it out, set it up, do the financing on it, payment where you can handle it. You can get whatever you want and just about name your game. This is a one-stop shop. We have a belt for about anything. Either bring us some numbers or bring your old belt in, and that's the key to really knowing, what you need. Yeah, we carry tires, tubes for mowers, replacement wheels. We can get just about anything for any machine you need.
See the man with the plan, Glenn Register. Call 272-0345 for more information.
If you can't do business here, you just can't do business.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking a little bit about construction and just technology and how things look today versus how they looked some years ago and possibly even how they may look in the future. So can you give me any examples of what a job site even may have looked at 10 or 15 years ago as compared to how it looks today? And then maybe even what it would look like 5 or 10 years from now?
Well, I'm not sure the job site looks that much different, but the way you manage it and coordinate it has changed a lot. Technology was slow to come to the construction industry, but in the last 5 to 10 years, it's come. There's a thing called Building Information Modeling, which they call BIM, which is 3D plans, and you can actually fly through a building electronically and look at it on the screen. We hardly use paper anymore. It's pretty much you don't have a big. You still have a big roll of blueprint sitting somewhere, but for the most part, we're looking at it on a TV screen. And the thing that we're excited about at Garbutt Construction Company is a thing called lean construction. And it's, you know, Edward Deming and the Toyota way that started in the 50s. I think the construction industry said, that really doesn't apply to us. We're not making widgets, and it's a different set of characters on every job site. But turns out it does apply to construction. It's sort of a bottom-up where we really energize the people that are actually doing the work, and they help plan it. And it's been very successful for us. We are big believers in the lean management methods.
Is 3D printing technology, does that work into what you guys are doing? Are you seeing that or an increase in that?
I've
Well-
seen it, but that's about it.
We don't print the building in 3D, but you can look at it virtually in 3 dimension. You can see what it looks in plan, elevation, and in between,
Right.
and really maneuver in.
Before it's actually built.
Actually before
So,
it's built.
and just, I read a lot. I love technology stuff. I was reading some this morning, and I believe in China, there was a 6-story building built with a 3D printer, and I just can't wrap my head around
I've
how
seen
that.
the same thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. We're not there yet, and especially not in our niche. Our niche is renovation and restoration. That would modular construction and 3D printing. That's pretty much ground up stuff, and you don't see that so much in renovation and restoration work, which is primarily what we do.
I want to switch gears on you guys totally, and I want to go back to maybe where we should have been in the beginning. But I want to ask you about a father and daughter working together in the business, and I don't know if you spend 8 hours together in the office or 8 hours in a week together in an office, but I want you to tell me a little bit about that relationship working together, and then tell me something you really enjoy about that.
That's a scary question.
Because I'm assuming you enjoy every bit of it every day, right?
You know, working with family is an extreme blessing, but it's also, you know, can be a challenge at times. But, you know, I think for me, I enjoy most just learning from my dad. I mean, he's a really good builder, but he's an outstanding businessman, and I find myself knowing things or understanding things that I don't feel like I would have otherwise had I not, you know, learned from him for so
knowing
long.
you can go to him with any question about anything, that's got to help.
Yeah. So
I would think. Charlie, tell
think
me
he's very savvy.
If this is okay to do, one thing that you feel like, whether it's one quote or just one instance of something that's happened that you say, you know, this is the one thing I would tell you about my dad.
Ooh.
Is there anything that he's ever said to you that you think, you know, I'll never forget that?
Yeah.
Or,
okay. You know, I think there's many things that stick with me that I've learned from my dad, but one of the, you know, the biggest I think I remember him saying when I was young was just never quit, and always, you know, never quit. There's a lot of people, I believe, who are really talented,
but and may give up on their dreams.
May give up on their dreams, but and then you have people who are prevailers and, you know, persistent, and his encouragement for me to be one of those people has meant a lot.
Okay. Mr. Garbutt, for J. Charlie here, what's the one thing that you hope as a father and a businessman that you feel like if I don't get anything else across to her, and it may be what she just answered, but what would your advice as a daughter and a professional business person be? And maybe to anybody that's watching.
Well, what I've told her and what I've told everybody at Garbutt Construction Company, and it's one of our core values, do what you say when you say. So if you tell somebody you're going to do something and you tell them you're going to do it by a certain time, deliver on it. And I tell them that if you'll just do that, you'll distinguish yourself from about 95% of the rest of the people.
Amen to that. Do what you say and say what you do. I sure do appreciate both of you coming on the show today. I would like for one of you, if you would, to take just a second to look into that camera over there and tell folks watching the show today just a little bit, again, about Garbutt Construction, what you do, and why you would be the company to choose for renovations or construction.
Well,
kind of put you on the spot quick on that.
You did. Well, we take a lot of pride in what we do, and we think we're good planners of the process, which makes for a good, smooth job. We talk about teamwork a lot, and we talk about collaboration a lot, and we partner with architects and owners and contractors, our subcontractors, and I think we're able to put together a pretty good cohesive team, and quality is out front all the time, but a good collaborative process makes the job go very smooth. We pride ourselves in being able to deliver high quality and to deliver it when the owner needs it.
Well, I think all of those are great assets, and especially I heard you mention, and I know with J. Charlie and her leadership and the team that you have, you've got a lot of the younger workforce, and that's important. I'm sure even if you retire, you're not going to stop working. So they'll have that leadership and that experience around if they need you to call on. But I think it's great that your company is forward-thinking and innovative in that way. Charlie, you got any last words you want to share with our viewers?
Just, we want to work for you guys here in Dublin, and we appreciate everything that Dublin does for us.
Thank you guys, and thank you for joining us and helping us make sure today and every day is a great day for business in Dublin and Lawrence County.